Hello students, this is Dr. Faizan Mirza. I'm covering the idea of cells and tissues that make up your cardiovascular system. So starting off with the tissues which are of immense importance for the functioning of the cardiovascular system. So which cells are present, which tissues are present, that's what I'll be covering in this video. So starting off with the first tissue and the cells that make up that tissue, we have endothelium. What is endothelium? Endothelium is basically the tissue formed by endothelial cells. Now, what are endothelial cells? Endothelial cells are flat cells, and these flat cells can fit into each other like the pieces of jigsaw puzzle. And when they fit into each other like pieces of jigsaw puzzle, they provide a frictionless pathway for the traveling of the transport of blood, because when the blood will flow to this across, or you can say over this smooth surface, it will flow very swiftly. Endothelium is present on the inner surface of all the vessels as well as the heart, and the blood which is flowing in the closed circulatory system in the vessels and the heart, it stays in direct contact with the endothelial lining. The endothelial cells can also be called as the squamous epithelial cells, because these cells are the squamous epithelial cells, flat cells that form the surface lining of the tissues or the organs. The squamous epithelial lining can be one layer or it could be multiple layers as well. So it depends of which part of the body they are in. The second tissue that we are discussing here is a smooth muscle. Now, smooth muscles are present in the walls of hollow organs, tubular organs. For example, your blood vessels, your esophagus, your trachea, your bronchi, or the reproductive tubules. They all have smooth muscles. The smooth muscles, they can join to form multiple layers to form the thick, you can say, wall of that tissue. The smooth muscles have the ability to contract over a long period of time, and when they provide that sustained contraction, they allow the changes in diameter to stay intact for the functioning of the vessel or that particular hollow organ. For example, vasoconstriction and vasodilation, you can probably recall. So that's the function of smooth muscles there. They also give strength, immense strength, to which needs to be there in the arteries to withstand the high pressure or the ventricular contraction. These smooth muscles, they also help in propulsion of the blood ahead into the arterial system. Apart from smooth muscles and endothelial lining, there are elastic fibers as well and the collagen fibers as well, which we already have discussed earlier in various parts of biological molecules. So apart from these, which cells are there in the cardiovascular system? We have red blood cells, we have white blood cells, we have platelets. I think these are already discussed in much detail. So we can move on to the next kind of cells, which next tissue, which is the myocardium. Myocardium is the tissue that makes up your heart wall, and the heart wall is the tissue is myocardium, and the myocardium is having cells which are called cardiomyocytes. Now, cardiomyocytes are specialized cells that make up the cardiac muscles, and they generate their own electrical rhythm. Now, with their electrical rhythm being generated, they allow synchronized contraction to stay there. So the part of the heart which undergoes contraction, all parts of that region will contract together. For example, if atria is contracting, so not just the right atria and just one part of right atria, the entire right atria and the entire left atria will contract together. And this synchronized contraction of the cardiac myocytes, it allows the synchrony to stay there in the atria as well as in the ventricles. And these cardiac myocytes and the cardiac cells, they do not get fatigued because of contraction, sustained contraction and repeated contraction relaxation cycles. That's it from my side. Thank you so much.